the thing. Hello and welcome to the channel. Today this is going to... Oh, just 1 minute. Right, hopefully that's it. Give it a second or two. It was the usual basic one that I forgot to switch off. It just echoes around and around and around forever and a day. Anyway, so sorry about that. So today what we're going to do is part 3 of the A10C. We'll be going through the startup again, and then we're going to be carrying on with we're going to be going through the CBU 97s with wind correction. In the first lesson, if you can think back, we did starting up the aircraft and basic Mavericks. I finished off with a ripple on a Maverick, which was the start point for the next one on number 2, and then you had to go at Rippling Mavericks and looking at the 65H. You also had a little look at cluster bombs on the second part, which were CBU 97s and 105s, what the problems are of cluster bombs in the wind, and how we can make those better. That's about right, is it not?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, we've also done handing off targets and passing targets. We've also done broadcasting your SPI, which you probably won't remember. We also did hooking as well, and some attempts at flying in formation. Is that about fair enough?
Yep. Right.
Okay, so following on from last week with the CBUs, what we're going to be doing then is using the dumb bombs, but using something built into the aircraft to make them far more accurate than they currently are. But first of all, we'll get the aircraft started, but before we go anywhere, we've got to program the CDU, which is where the wind correction comes in, and I'll explain that when we come to it, okay? Right, I'll go through all the startup bits again, and just make sure that when you've done it, you come back and let me know. Right, starting on the right hand knee, we've got two lines of toggles. The bottom right is power. We need that one on, and also the inverter, which is the one in on the middle row in the middle, top row in the middle. Okay, once we've done that, we're going to look down at the right hand butt cheek where you can see. Have you noticed how the patter is the same every time?
Yeah.
And that's where your repetition consistency comes in. Do you know what I mean? It sounds obvious, but you just repeat the same thing and it's very easy to remember. So we look for the 5 knobs on the right butt cheek, just above the left one. We can see position flash. We move that forward. Okay, slightly over to the left and just underneath the keyboard, we can see two knobs. One's on mission. Turn that one to flight plan. We don't usually do that here, do we?
We do it.
We do, yeah. Okay. And then the right-hand side one, I know what I'm on about now, sorry. The right-hand side one, we're going to turn to steer point, okay?
Coach said, best viewers.
Let me just one moment. And off you go. Right, okay, from there we're going to move up to the right-hand MF CD, and we're going to switch that over to day. And then we're going to do the left one. I know what I haven't done yet, but it's okay. We're going to switch on the APU start on the left hand side, just over from the left handle. I knew there was something I forgot. And then we're going to switch on the APU generator that's going to provide power. Okay. Now, over on the left-hand thigh, we're going to actually switch the radios on earlier this time. So, on the left-hand thigh, we've got the first radio, the top one. We're going to switch the left knob up. On the one below it, we're going to switch the left knob up. And on the one below that, we're going to switch the right knob up.
Nice, three.
Okay, all three done?
Yep.
Okay, so what's the radio frequency for this base? Any idea?
Looking.
I'll put the whole music on. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. 122000. So change the top radio. And I want you to make a radio call to ATC for permission to start. Welcome to the channel. This is part 3 of the A10C for beginners. So we're going through the startup. We're going to add in, following on from last week. Okay, wait for an answer. Okay, so we now have been given permission for startup, so start your left engine. When you start your left engine, what are we looking for? If you don't know, that's fine.
Oil.
Oil, are we?
Something like that. If we know.
Early in the morning, isn't it? I can tell.
There's a dial or two.
Okay, so on the right hand now, you can see on the alarm section on the top left, engine start cycle, and then the left column of dials starts to rotate. Okay?
Yeah.
Right. So we've done the right hand side MFCD, we've done the left hand side MFCD. Look at the switches beneath the left hand side MFCD. You've got CICU, JTRS and IFC to test. Right, now the master caution is probably flashing, yeah?
Correct.
Do you remember why the master caution might be flashing?
No.
Okay, if you look on the right alarm panel, you should see a light flashing, which is APU gen. And that's because the left engine's on and powered up, the AC generator's on, and it's now telling you that the APU generator's still on. So we can click that and not worry about it. Okay? And it says engage or engage pre-flight built yes. So hit enter on the upfront controller to acknowledge that.
Yep.
And you'll also see a little message on the bottom right of the screen. Just acknowledge it and let it carry on, okay? Right.
Okay.
Once the first engine is started, which it should have started by now, start the right engine. Again, look for the lights on the alarm panel and the second column. I've confused you a little bit here because I did change the order slightly because I wanted to get the radios in, which then meant I did something slightly different. The result is the same, but as I was saying earlier, it's consistency, doing things in the same way. Once you know how to do it consistently, then you can chop and change a little bit. There's not too much leeway. On the left-hand screen, hey Camel.
Are you looking left while you talk?
Sometimes. I think I know what's happened. Just 1 minute. Select the load all on the left-hand side screen. Oh, I don't think it's ready for it yet. Just a minute. Now what it is, Camel, I had to move my mic. Sorry, that's my fault. Is that better? That should be normal now. I moved my mic away because I had to get under my table. There you go. Is that better? So I did do the
Thought there was something wrong with my headset.
no, I did the calibration the other day when you mentioned it. Downloaded the tool, calibrated. First thing when I come in, it didn't see my pedals, and I'm like, oh, here we go. And I think it might just be I put a footrest over my pedals, and I think sometimes it catches the cable a bit, I think, and I've moved it again. It's just that when I'm not using my feet, I'll put my feet up. Right. Okay, can you see the test at the moment? It says exit. Hey,
So you just found exit, yeah?
good morning. Yeah, so use enter, which will select exit, and then use the select switch to move down.
Oh, that makes sense.
Select exit
Don't
again.
have to calibrate them anyway.
Oh no, I calibrated them.
And that,
You know, because they were, especially the foot pedal bits, the brakes were wandering all over the place. On the lower left, underneath the MFCD, move the IFC up and we should see a hood now.
Yep.
You can see that it's obviously too high because the number's on the bottom. So we're going to move that down with that little lever, which is to the right of the yellow and black emergency brake. And it's sticking out right on the corner. We're going to move that down till the ribbon's just about on the bottom. And we can just see it and lean forward if we need to. Okay. On the right hand side screen, select CDU. Why is mine unavailable? Because me being me, forgot to switch it on. I forgot to switch on the CDU and the EGI, did you?
I did mention it.
Yeah, did you switch them on?
No, you didn't tell me to.
Yeah, well, you should have gone, oh, you've done this wrong, do it now. So that's my fault. So the alignment hasn't started. That's why that bit wasn't doing what it was doing.
Yep.
But the thing is, when you see a problem, eventually you should be able to spot exactly what it is when it's done. So if you switch the right screen to CDU, you'll actually watch the alignment process now. And that's going to take 4 minutes and 8 milliseconds or something. But that's fine. We're going to spend at least the first 45 minutes sitting in the cockpit whilst we program the last. And I'll explain that more when we come to it. Any questions so far? I know it's early in the morning or late in the evening for some.
Unless that was for the viewers.
Yeah, it was a trick, was it? That's what it was. Right, so as I explained before anybody else was on, following on from the...
Dice yet by the heat.
Oh, the pitot heat. No, we won't do that yet. We'll wait. We'll wait. Oh, go on then. You can always ask questions. We've got a couple of minutes now, because this is normally done by now, but it's just my oversight, which happens.
Does this hover?
Sometimes it'll hover.
So can you teach me?
I can teach you. What you need is something called a SAM, and there's a point when your wings come off, just that little point before you start to drop. It'll just sit in the air, and then it'll start to drop.
Oh, that sounds fun.
And no, it's quite good fun. It takes a bit of effort. It seems a lot of effort to get to that stage because you've got to go through all the startup, all the alignment, getting everything done, only to have your wings blown off and to have that few milliseconds of hover. And then once it's there, whilst it's an accomplishment, and just in case people are from different countries, this is obviously sarcasm between me and Camel, so... just in case you're listening thinking,
Left Windows plus home fixes all.
No, there is no left Windows and home. No left Windows and home. I think left Windows and home, if we call that, I think it's War Thunder. I think that's what that one's called, isn't it? Or something like that. Anyway, we're just waiting for the alignment. Do you ever get the feeling that this has messed up somewhere along the line?
Or it's for people who spent their life doing pre-stars.
What's yours doing?
Can't be asked anymore, lol.
Mine's got
Is it going through what it should be going through?
ready.
Pardon?
It's in-snav ready.
Yeah, it's not going through the startup, is it? Ah, me knobs, that's what it is. Go to other. Turn your knob to other.
Yeah.
Right, can you see it going now? You know which one I mean? Your right hand side knob
Yeah.
page. You can see now, can't you? It's counting up.
It was on zero.
Yeah, it's, as I said, I did do something slightly wrong, slight lack of concentration by me, but hey,
Okay.
I was waiting for you to jump up and say, hey, you've done it wrong.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You know me. If I have an opinion, I'll say it, but I don't know enough yet.
No, this is where I could lead you to the edge of the cliff and say jump, and you'll be going, okay.
Yeah.
Right, now we've got ins nav ready, and we've got 4008. So hit the nav button. Just behind the joystick, we'll change it from HARS to EGI, not CGI. We'll change TCM to steer point. And then just to the front side of the throttles, we're going to push the yaw SAS and pitch SAS on. Push those forward.
Go back a step.
That's fine.
Just went right now.
Okay. So behind the joystick on the center panel, you've got two lights. We want to change one from HARS to EGI, and the other one from TACAN, TCN to steer point. And then move over to the left, just in front of the throttle, and we're going to put yaw SAS and pitch SAS forward. Those are stability augmentation systems, which is what you also get in the Apache.
Yep.
Okay. And then just behind the throttle, you've got the EAC, which is the left-hand toggle. Sometimes you can't see it properly, so you want to just get yourself in a position to see it. And also we've got the radar altimeter. That should leave us, I think, with about 3 lights on.
The AC isn't staying switched up. It keeps flicking back.
It keeps flicking back. Oh my goodness me, what is that? I'm trying to think what it might be. So, I do recall this. I've had this problem myself before. So, are the yaw SAS and pitch SAS forward, all 4?
Yeah. 4 forward.
And your EAC keeps going forward. For the life of me, I can't remember now. I've had it before. And I know it's because I had a button set that was doing a reset. I can't remember it for the life of me. But I have seen it before. Why is EAC not going forward? I take it the EGI and the steer point is done. You've got the asterisk on the nav, yes? On your CDU. Pardon?
So we had to change that knob back to other, didn't we, to be able to get the alignment to start. I haven't changed it back to steer point.
No, that's fine. That's not an issue. So you've got the asterisk by the nav.
I have, yeah.
And you've got EGI and that on, and I can't think for the life of me. Anyone want to throw in?
Something is not
Both
right.
APU gens still on.
Yeah, it looks like something's not ready. Both engines are on, not that that makes any difference to that. Oh man, what is it? So it just pops straight back again, yeah?
Yeah.
Are your engines both in idle and back?
Yep.
What the hell is it? I haven't seen it for a long time, but I've definitely seen it, and I can't remember for the life of me.
NX alignment not complete.
Yeah, that's a thought. So you have got ins nav ready on the right hand side. It says T equals 4008, yeah?
T equals 3.90.
Right, okay, what you've done is you jump the gun. You're supposed to wait for T equals 4008 and ins nav ready to flash. Yeah?
Or did I jump the gun on though?
So basically you hit nav on the right hand side before it was ready.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Camel. Was that a quick Google, was it? So, what's yours looking like? You can see mine if you've got a window open.
Not bad for a whirly bird stick jockey hello.
So
I know. It saved me looking it up.
it's got the asterisk next to nav. It's saying T equals 3.9.
Yeah, it's not finished. So, with the alignment, what it's actually doing is looking for 3 confirmed satellites, right? And that way it knows where it is in 3D space. However, you've jumped the gun a bit. So, off the top of my head, press ground,
Yeah.
right? And then it should start again.
Master caution's flashing.
Yeah, it will do. It's going to cause a few little issues, but
Did I just do that?
yeah. Let's see what happens.
I actually didn't have to look that one up. I have made the same mistake when I was learning the A10.
Ah, right. I haven't seen it for ages. Come on, you off you go. Okay, let's wait for it to finish. It may have caused a slight issue along the way, but nothing major, I don't think. So, how are you? Have you you backed off on the hours you're doing now, matey? Mr. Camel, that is. Yeah, so always wait
For the season, we are done.
for 4008 and ins nav ready to be flashing. Oh, right, okay. So does that mean you're going to be around a little bit more, does it? You're going to come back on Saturdays for a fly? Or are you too busy with your Star Citizen? I did tell you. Fortunately, though, I've been used to it for years and it's been a slow creep up. Although I must admit the way the mining works at the moment, I'm finding a little
I'll come
annoying.
back on Saturdays for a fee.
Oh, for a fee. How much did you want to pay? See, I can see you smiling now. Nicely flipped. Nicely flipped, that was. Says you'd come back for a fee. Anyway. So what we're going to do... Have you done wind correction at all, Camel, on the A10C? It's quite good. It's one of those little things. I'll be a bit more forgiving with Wiz. Because they may have picked up a cold from work.
Wind correction. Point
Yep.
loose in and firewall their throttles.
Oh, is that what it is?
Morning.
Good morning.
So half here.
Hello, Horny. How the devil are you? I bet you've been having fun, haven't you, with all the new regulations,
Just got over
allegedly.
Chest infection.
Oh, have you? That's not good. It's like welcome to my world. It's one big chest infection, one big hole in the
Don't
leg.
even go there with this bullshit.
Oh, tell me about it. It's like my phone. I stopped the update. Pardon?
You restarted yours as well?
Yeah. Just to make sure I knew what was going on your screen.
Okay.
It's no good me telling you to do something without making sure it's doing what I think it's doing.
That ins nav ready at the top should be flashing when it's ready.
Ins nav ready will start to flash, right? and T should equal 4008, and then you can hit nav. All right, and then when you go along, you should find that your EAC stays in place.
This takes me back a few years.
I bet it does as well.
Correct.
Oh, the person I originally told you about teaching, Horny in the lamppost, is on watching now, by the way. No pressure. So anyway, I stopped the Apple from doing that update, and a few weeks after, it's now stopped me from making transactions with my Apple phone, even though I've been doing them for ages. And it's like forcing me. They've already gone through that. Right, so we've got 3 lights. Okay, anti-skid, seat not armed, APU gen. Okay, so anti-skid is diagonally left on the left screen, all the way down from top right to bottom left. Hey, Glenn. And on the right-hand side, we don't need the APU anymore. We can switch the APU generator off, and we can also switch the APU start off, which is just to the left of the seat handle. That'll leave us with seat not armed, okay? Right, we're also going to load some weapons. So did you save your weapon loadout last time? That's it. Well, call that Maverick D's up, right, but don't okay it. So we're going to take the Mavericks off and anything else you've got in there except for stations 1, 10 and 11. And then we're going to go through on the bombs and we're going to put as many CBU 97s as we can. Of course, checking the weight all the time to make sure that we're not going to have an issue. This thing will take off overweight, but it's not a good idea to, and it handles like a double-decker bus. So you should see we're underweight with everything on. There's 2 stations from what I can see, maybe not. Maybe I can put bombs in there and it might put me overweight. No, it won't let me put them in.
What do you want me to put where?
CBU 97s on everywhere you can.
Said, like having a large lady friend.
Yeah. How are you, Glenn? So yeah, don't get me started on all that nonsense. It's complete bollocks, isn't it? Back in the day when I was younger, it was all about parents being responsible for children. Now apparently the government have to be responsible for children. And parents don't have the responsibility at all. So I wonder if we can flip that round and make the government responsible for everything the children do. Do you know what I mean? Well, you're responsible for what they look at and what they do.
At max takeoff weight on stereo map, definitely need lower weight performance limited.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, when it's warm. Hot. Okay, so you should have nearly, most of it, 2 stations are missing, and you're probably going to find it's a little bit over one side. Hey, hello, Too Much Hair Product. This is... Pardon?
I've got CBU 97s on 987, 543 and 2.
Okay. Similar to mine, but different.
Started on this. Was teaching for 4 years, and the standard of kids now is shocking.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's like, was it locus parentis or something, where the teachers were the second parents when they went to school, and I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And so far I've avoided it all, but my phone's screaming at me. It's already banned me from doing transactions, and I'm thinking, okay, won't do transactions then. I'll use my card like normal people. Okay, so when you've done that, say, okay, Yeah, it's really annoying. Really annoying. And it's like if parents can't be asked to understand the technology that they're doing.
Into P1 and P2 without being toilet trained.
Oh no, I can imagine. I can imagine. I know I started nursery at 4, and this is going to be sounding a bit sad, but I remember what I did there and how we learnt numbers, how we learnt tie laces, our afternoon naps, the things we'd got, the toys we got, the pretend chocolates.
Was mining by 6.
Goes mining. Anyway, right. So, we're ready to do this bit, okay? Now, what I'm going to explain is we're going to use something called last. So last week, when we dropped...
How are you?
All good, thank you. Cheers, Glyn. I am at the moment. I've only got a few weeks left of my leg injury, so we should be good. Right, so last week we saw that when we dropped any sort of CBUs, whether it's 97s or 105s, the difference being 105s are wind corrected, right, and they will go where you tell them to. They're GPS guided. But however, we had the same issue with the bombs, with the bomblets. When the parachute was opened up at 1800 foot, which is the default height of function, and now I sound all technical, it'll make sense to people later. Then what we're going to do, what we did at the time was we dropped the height of function down to 900 feet, which obviously reduced the spread of the bombs. And we also manually moved the bombs over a little bit. Okay, that's what we did, yeah, to make them better.
Yeah.
Just one moment. So what we're going to do this week is use something called wind correction. So I'm going to just pop this up. I've got to move it onto my screen so I can see it. Hang on.
Do you want me to do the load all for the weapons before we do this?
I'm not bothered. Just don't worry about it at this point. What I've got to do is try and find a way of putting this window, because I've just realised I can't read the bloody text on it. Wait a minute. Yeah. Holding the resolution of these screens. And I can't make this bigger. Oh, this is going to be a pain. Okay. So what wind correction does is it uses a system in the aircraft called LASTE, L-A-S-T-E, which is low altitude safety target enhancement. Okay. Now, when we drop the bombs, what you've got to think of is this map is particularly windy, as you're aware. So when a bomb drops, and it's a dumb bomb like a CBU-97, you've got different layers of wind depending what height you're at. And you've also got the speed of your aircraft to take into account. So there is a calculator. Now you can calculate it yourself, but it is a real ball's ache. So there's a calculator you can get, and it's just called wind correction. And if you Google wind correction for the A10C or DCS A10C, that you'll see this calculator pop up. I'm not going to get you to do that. I'll just display the calculator so we can see it, put the numbers in, and then tell you what the numbers are. And effectively what it's going to do is use the wind and temperature settings on the mission map to calculate what the wind and the temperature will be, right, for five, I think it's 5 different settings. Okay, so what I'm going to do is switch it on my screen so you'll see it pop up in a minute. Right, can you see that on my screen?
Yeah.
So we can get this speed, right, from the mission. We can also get the direction, as long as I do this right, because now there's two numbers on the thing. We've got the temperature and we know what magnetic north is. And we put in these numbers and then it will calculate, right, all the changes in the wind and the temperature over the settings that we put in. So what I'm going to do is go to Alt B. So Alt B or left Alt B is going to give us our mission briefing. As we scroll down, right at the bottom, we've got the weather temperature. Okay?
Yeah.
And I just hope, because this is where I get mixed up, that it's the first numbers we use. So we can see what the temperature is. We also know what the wind speed are and what the direction. Oh, don't worry, this is easy. So if we look, right, we've got the temperature. We can see the temperature is 10 degrees, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm literally putting in 10 in the calculator.
Yeah.
Magnetic north here, I believe, is 353 on Corks's. Okay? Which it's already set. So we can now see we've got ground 2000 and 8000. So the ground speed is 7 meters a second. And the wind direction is 29. Okay? The speed at 2000 meters is 8 meters a second. And the wind is 243.
I went through this training with no, took about 9 months to learn everything and I loved it.
Yeah, did you see what Horney just wrote then, Wiz?
No.
It took about 9 months to do all of this with Horney. But I gave Horney 2 or 3 hours every so often, and then he went away and practiced. So now we've got 7 meters a second, and then the last one is 71 degrees. And I do hope this is the right way.
That's the same time as being pregnant.
It is. Now, as you've noticed on my screen, we've suddenly got...
It is a lot to take in. Horny said, it was nice.
We've got... We've got basically a load of calculations. So are you aware that every 1,000 feet that the altitude changes, the temperature changes as well at a constant? Did you know that?
I do know.
Yeah, so the higher up you go, the colder it gets, and so on and so on and so on. Okay?
Yep.
So what this is giving us is a set of wind speed, direction and temperature based on a calculation. That's why it's called a calculator. Now I can leave this on screen, but what I can't do is put it on screen and set my stuff up at the same time. So whilst you can see it on your screen, what we're going to do is go through those numbers, okay? Right, okay. Now, if you look at the CDU, and it'll be easy to do it down there, what we need to do is go and click Sys.
Just underscore Glenn said, right, have a great stream.
All right, see you, Glenn.
Next time.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, yeah, SYS. And you'll have EGI, INS, GPS, reinitialization, last hours, blah, blah, blah. Okay? And we're going to click last. Once we select last, we're going to select wind.
Nah.
Right, so hopefully this is, if I can remember how to do this, we have to go through and then edit it. So the first altitude is 00. Can you see the blue box on your screen? See the screen that you've got? See the numbers at the bottom? Right, so do 0, 0. Right, on the little numpad underneath the screen, and then select the first altitude, and you'll see you get 0, 0 in there. And a load of asterisks.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, what's the next height?
0, 1.
Okay, so we put 0, 1. And you put it in the next line. What's the next one?
0, 2.
0, 2. And we put that in the next line, okay? And then if you look down at the bottom, you've got a PG. So if you go down on the rocker, it gives us more lines. So what's the next line?
0, 7.
Okay, so it's 0, 7. That goes at the top of the screen. And what's the next one?
26.
2, 6?
2, 6.
Yeah, 2, 6, 26. And is that all of them?
Correct.
Okay, so we go back up to the top now, and we select Wind Edit.
Yep.
So what are the first set of numbers for the 0, 0 altitude?
I think 202/14.
Right, so you go 2, 0, 2, 1, 4. No. And you put that in. Okay. What is it for 0, 1?
Let me just put that in.
Okay.
That goes into the top one, right?
Yes.
So the next one is 202/27.
So 20227. Okay.
And 202/27 again.
Okay. 20227. I do hope I've put this in the right way around. As I said, the fact they put two sets of numbers now for wind direction. One's coming from, one's going into. Right, okay, page down. So we're on the 7 now.
5616.
5616.
And last one, 24414.
24414.
Correct.
Okay, now page back up again.
Yep.
Now we've got temperatures at the end of that.
Yeah.
Go on then, what's the first temperature for 0, 0?
10.
10.
10. 1, 0.
Okay.
Second temperature is 8.
Make sure you put 0, 8 in.
Did it for me? Does that matter?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
And remember, some are minus.
Third temperature is 6. Page down. And fourth temperature is -3.
Okay, so put 0, 3. And then hit the button again, and it'll change to a minus.
Hit what button?
You know the button when you enter it on the right hand side?
Yeah, I've done that, yep.
It's gone to minus now, yeah?
And then the last one is -42.
Okay, so it's going to be 42. Hit the button on the end and then hit it again. Okay,
Yep.
there we go. Excellent. Easy peasy, yes?
Yeah.
Right. When you go back to the main page, using the page up, you can now see you've got the altitude, the wind and the temperature. Okay? And if you look on the top, can you see the word wind on the top right?
Yes.
Right, if you click the button next to it, it'll go none, wind, temperature, both.
Yeah.
So what it's doing is taking those settings into account. And what we're going to do is set it to none for now.
Okay. So none.
Okay? That was easy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I suppose the calculator was.
Calculator, right? You can download it yourself. As I said, I accrue these things over donkey's years. Right, so now we should have our left knob on flight plan, turn the other one to steer point. Aircraft is all over the place in mine. This is telling me my... Yes, please, darling. Dismiss, we can see obviously there's an issue. That's because we changed the weapons from the beginning. So just acknowledge the error. And can you remember how to change it?
I can, yeah.
Okay, I'll do it anyway for the benefit of those at home. We're going to press and hold the Maverick button. We're going to then switch this load function or the soft function to Maverick. Hit the load, hit load dismiss. It'll take 4 seconds. And then we'll see the dismiss is correct. Once you've done that, right, you hold the load button again and then put the Maverick button back. Not that we need the Maverick today. Let me know when that's done.
All you said is that calc screen meant to still be in the way.
Probably not, no. There you go. That should have disappeared. Do apologise. Thank you, Horny. That's why I never have overlays on the screen for anything, because things get in the way. Even my head. Morning, Iceman. Right, are you good?
Yeah.
Okay, so the left-hand screen now should be normal. Can you remember what not soy is? All good, thank you.
Not soy means sense of interest isn't selected.
Yeah, exactly, brilliant. And what was you going to say, Smart?
Sense of something, but I wasn't quite sure what that I stood for.
It's what you put in your stir fry. It's a sauce. It's no good shaking your head.
Soy, no, soy, what you put in your stir fries is SOY.
Okay, I'll let you off. Make me a cuppa, she's doing a drink. Okay.
Hey.
Right. She's off sick today, that's why I'm getting teased. Okay, so everything should be okay. Is there anything else that you can think of we've got to do?
I can't get sick.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, AI can't get sick. Yeah, we need to put the pitot heat on. We also need to change the... now we've got countermeasures on, we can put the the countermeasures on standby. And I tend to turn the fuel knob to show me what I've got in, okay? Which is about 10,800 pounds, roundabouts. Down on the bottom left, you might not find this, I don't know. Just beneath, just to the left of the, on the left throttle, if you hover your cursor over, you'll find it'll turn into a cross if you look at my screen. It's a bit difficult to see with your throttle's back, and you'll see set takeoff trim. We press that causes a light to come on, and we've got our takeoff trim set. We've also got, nowadays we seem to have chocks on the wheels. So we need to remove the chocks via the ground crew.
That set takeoff trim just a push button?
Yeah, it's just a button. So if you move, you can't see it very well. Depends on what you're in. But it's a push button with a little light above it, but it's difficult to see. So if you just pause your head tracking and put your cursor over the left throttle, you'll find it somewhere. And it'll say takeoff trim if you got labels on.
Mm-hmm. And then just push it.
Yeah, it's all you need to do. Okay. So what else do we need to do? Can you think of anything?
We haven't turned on the switches for countermeasures and stuff. RWR.
Oh, right, those, when you put them into standby, just pop them forward.
Okay.
And that'll be fine. We haven't set standby attitude indicator. We need to uncage that before we move. And we also need to set our net code so we can see each other. And so I'll be 3301.
You really? Excuse me.
Okay, and you're 33. What was your number I gave you?
24.
Okie dokie. Now, if we're following this by the book.
Where am I doing that? Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. Look on the TAD. Net, that's the one. And always do the numbers. Do the numbers on the upfront controller first before you select the button.
33.
33. Thanks, darling.
33.
If it's not working, it means that you did the numbers in the wrong order and you'll see an error on the bottom of the hood. So we've been doing this every 2 weeks, by the way. It's a 9 o'clock start. Coincides with the other half working a 12-hour shift. Because then I'm up nice and early. Okay, you happy with that?
Yeah.
Right, do a radio call to the ATC. And the next option should be available, which is what?
Press taxi to runway.
Yep, and this is where you get your runway information. Okay, so clear to taxi to runway 27. Are you going to lead us off or do you want me?
You can go. Yeah. That's fine.
This is day one of your cold, is it?
Yes.
Okay, nose wheel steering and then gently push the throttles forward. I think you're on my left hand side, so I should go past. Right, shall we shut our canopies?
Yeah.
The only reason I don't shut it is my aircraft doesn't make a sound, so I don't notice. And if you take off with your canopy up, it will be ripped off. This place as well, try not to cut any wheels on the grass because it's easy to get stuck. Well, I've got no noise, that's part of my problem. I think my audio is too quiet. You should hear the plane, you should hear the plane on the stream end. Although it's not that loud here, to be honest, in the cockpit. Okay, 3301, holding short, runway 27, Krasnodar Central. If we look, it should be behind us. Somewhere.
We crashed into the hangar or went this runway.
Oh, where did we come out over there? Where have I missed them? Ah, we're further down, that's why. I was thinking we were there, must have been here. I remember when I used to teach people, and the amount of times where they just bumped into you at the back here.
3394, so
Okay.
runway A10C II.
Okay, we can now put our seat ejection on because we're not in a hangar. We're also going to do what?
It's
Okay.
something to do with the flashing lights because we didn't go
Oh.
through that today. I think that's one of the first things to do.
Yeah, the lights. You didn't press a left control P, and I forgot to press the my little toggle. Right, so once that's on, we're going to change the lights so that they're static and flashing a white light. So if you look at your lights at the right butt cheek and move the left switch all the way back so they're static and the right switch forward, that's just above the 5 knobs by your right butt cheek. Do you see where I mean? Because there's something not on yours at the moment.
Yes. Anti-collision lights aren't staying on.
Right, press left control P. Now try.
Okay, now it's staying on.
So do you remember left control P is the effective pinky switch aft?
I've been trying to use actually the pinky switch.
Okay. Which basically gives them power, otherwise they won't come on.
Okay.
Right, 3301 taking active 27 Krasnodar Central. Would be a good idea to start the mission as well, what do you reckon?
I thought you did that earlier.
No. I usually do. I told you today is one of those days. I was expected to be up at 6 o'clock and I didn't need to. So I was up at 8 o'clock and had a shower then. And I'm normally ready by just after 8. Right. So I'm just selecting the mission and then we'll get the briefing. Don't worry, it's going to be quite short today, but you should see how this works. You got enough room?
Should do.
Where are you? I can't see you.
No, you know, I don't want to run a smell over.
Oh, there. I bet you remember this, don't you, Horny, if you're still there? The brake's not working, or you in the right place?
I'm in the right place.
Yeah, you are. I'll give you that. Just look closer from here, but that's fine. Okay. Well, I was only checking.
Yeah.
Okay, brakes on. Run it up to 80. 1 in the green.
94 in the green.
Okay. Anything else we haven't done? Did we listen to what the ATC was telling us?
Something about 3-3, so yeah.
QFE 2982.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, set waypoint 1 in your HUD, which I think is already set.
I can change it. I need to. Eight. And what am I doing in my head, say?
Just make sure we're on waypoint 1. Okay, so I'm going to take off. I'm going to fly forward. I'm going to climb at 5 degrees. And then I want you to move in. I'll slow down a little bit. I want you to move in and get on my left wing. And once we've done that, we'll execute a right-hand turn. We'll head towards waypoint 1, go Buster, and get up to about 10,000 feet towards target area. Okay? Right, so once I've climbed up a little bit, I'm then going to level out and slow down for you to catch up on the left-hand side. Are you ready? I'll give you 2 seconds after I go. So my throttles are on full. Brakes, brakes, brakes rolling. As we're going along, we're going to switch off the nose wheel steering once the speed hits 70. That's because now we can use the rudder to steer ourselves down here. I'm going to start applying some rotation at about 130, and we should take off probably high 150s, probably 160 something today. It is very windy as usual. If I've got the right mission on, should see the wind in the hood. Nothing like a bit of wind. Climbing at 5 degrees. If I didn't start that mission first, by the time we got to where we'll be getting, we'll be down, we'll be shot. Just make sure my flaps are not on. I should have done that before. Alright, I'm just going to start leveling out now, slowing down and letting you catch up. Okay, we're flying level now. Just backing off, and I'm also going to just trim the nose down. As you can see, as I said, it's quite windy. We're going to engage autopilot. I don't really want to go too much above 260. Oh, dear me. So this is why this last comes in really useful when you've got cluster bombs, because what it should be doing in the main is countering all this wind, and it doesn't matter what height, what speed, or where we are. Okay, you've got visual. Yeah, if you just slow down a little bit and drop down, get on my left wing. I am lower than usual. Just watch your speed. If you remember, we did this, I think, on, was it week 1 or 2, where we started looking at positioning and how to check what speed I'm doing.
Yeah.
So without looking at my screen, I want you to get into position and then tell me my speed. Pardon?
255, maybe?
Bit faster. Get in nice and close. You don't have to go super snuggly, but you want to get in close, because if I turn now, you're going to be left and you won't turn with me. So you need to get in closer, because I can see I'm leaving you now. Anyway, anyone got any questions while we're going along? I'm going to start drinking my cup of tea. I've paused my head tracking. And then what we're going to do is turn, hopefully fairly coordinated, head towards the target area. We're going to climb 5 degrees, go Buster, up to about 9,000 feet.
Command 1210.
Hey, come on. No. I was pensioned off in January and I'm still just chilling. So I'm good. I should really be doing videos, to be honest. I can do this and usually just talk my way through it, no problem at all. I come to do a video and then suddenly something fundamental happens and it's a pain in the ass. Okay. Don't worry about hitting me. If you hit me, we'll just start all over again. It's not a problem.
Ah, nice, nice. I wish I could get some cash money out my pension. Still a way to go for me. I spent
Yeah.
666 said, no pressure.
Hmm. Sorry, what was that?
Right. I started slowing down even though I hadn't really touched the throttle.
Yeah, you just got to basically, your throttle should be going up and down, but not by great amounts. This is where it's nice to have some resistance on your throttle so that everything you do is nice and smooth. So you want to be sliding it up. I can see you dropping back now.
Yeah. Because we was okay and then...
Yeah, you need to, you're not on autopilot, are you?
No.
Yeah, just slide up, speed up a bit, and then get into position before we hit the sea. We don't want to run out of fuel before we get there, do we?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to pause now. I told you we can get back and land on 0. This isn't like your fancy F-18s, your AV-8s and that. We run out of fuel, we go, okay. It's even designed that you don't necessarily need to have your gear down as well. It is such a fantastic plane, to be honest. And it's all quite leisurely. I mean, you know, I'm sitting here drinking a cup of tea with my feet up. Like you probably are.
Mm-hmm.
So don't forget to use the mirror window, right? And just put me in there.
You're kind of slower now. I don't know what you're up to.
I'm not, my speed is consistent. I'm not doing anything. You've got wind, turbulence and all sorts. Finished my cup of tea anyway. There you go, that's getting better. So I should be in that little glass panel now. And you should have a position on me. And then just, if you don't look at your instruments at all, just look at me.
Yeah.
Look into my wings, not around the wings, into my wings. You're a pilot.
Harry.
That will only make sense to a lot of Brits, I think. Okay. You see, the thing is, if I turn now, you are going to not turn with me. You're going to be too lagged, right? So you need to get reasonably close. So when we turn, you watch my wings and you make your wings the same. And you won't need to look at your own wings. You'll just do it. And that way round, we'll turn together. What I'm going to have to do is get Kev to come and fly with me. He hasn't flown for donkeys. And I'll show you how Kev flies with me, and Horny if he's practiced. So it's not a rush, it's just a case of getting in nice and comfortable. And you can, if you want, just fill the window, but always have your hand on the throttle and make sure all the movements are nice and slow. And every time you speed up, you start slowing down straight away. And you just reduce the amount you move every time. That's getting much better.
I haven't flown in almost 3 years. I need to sort myself out. Life has always got...
It happens. It does happen. There you go. That's looking really good. Yeah? Where am I in your little window?
Quite for a little bit.
No, that's fine. But you can see whether I'm going to speed up or slow down, yeah? Now,
Yeah.
are you feeling comfortable there?
Yeah, and it's Before you lose me again.
No, I'm not. I am not flying my aircraft. I've been on autopilot since. So can you have a hazard a guess at what speed I am? And again, look at my plane and make sure it's not moving forward in the window or back in the window, and then tell me what speed you think I am. And you're dropping back, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
As I said, it's management all the time. You can't stop. Have you got a sweaty joystick, or is it better than the first time?
My left hand is getting cramping because I'm gripping the throttle like anything.
Yeah, it's quite funny, isn't it?
Slight adjustments, but
It's lots of adjustments all of the time. Okay. Yeah, we would have been blown up by SAMs had I have not started the mission. Whatever you do as well, you don't really want to be trying to use your speed brakes when you're coming in doing this. You should, resist. All right, you're okay. Just come down a little bit. Come down a little bit. Was you thinking you were going too quick?
no, I was going too quick because I was getting too close to you.
Yeah, but again, you just got to anticipate. So when you're flying a helicopter, how you can fly literally with your nose next to a building or your blades really close. The trick is not to do any panicky moves, and everything's nice and smooth, and it's the same thing in this, but it's going to be mostly throttle. So see if you can get back to where you were, because we need to do a turn, otherwise we're going to be in the Isle of Wight.
Considering how I was on day one, is this been much better?
No, it is. It is. That's fine. That's looking really, really nice. I just want to wait until you are comfortable and you're quite confident, and there's no need to keep popping up in the air. You can stay with me up until the second, right, that you can't. And what I mean by that is, you see the way you're speeding up a bit now? Just back off on your throttle. Just back off on your throttle, right? More so than you would. Now put your throttle back on again. This is fine. No, this is fine. Don't panic. Don't panic. It's just throttle control. Okay, you started to drift off underneath. Once you start going into some funny places, it makes it more difficult. All right, okay. Level out. Put yourself at about 260 or so. Execute a turn, right, and head towards number 1, okay? In your own time. And then fly level still. Not anymore. Right, keep going up towards. Are you going towards waypoint 1 yet?
I have no idea. No. I'm used to flying with the helmet.
Okay, just fly level. Level means keep the same height. But you're alright, don't worry, don't panic.
Command 1210 said, I sold all my gear. We'll get back into it at some point.
You sold it. If I remember right,
Now I'm heading towards waypoint 1.
were you at university? Am I remembering right? Okay, so just right, you want to set your speed reasonable, about round about 260-ish maybe.
Okay.
You don't want to be going faster than that because you're going to have to wait for me to catch up. So I reckon about 260 should be fine.
No, only Mel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 University.
Oh, right, okay. Fancy selling all your gear. It's easy to think that, you know, you haven't got time and these things change and it sits there gathering dust.
I went on a spending spree and the missus caught up with me as I wasn't using it enough.
Yeah, but you're not using it enough, and then next thing you know, you'll be using it too much and not giving enough attention. This is why when I was like, I sort of was quite good because I sort of started seeing somebody who was a gamer. Do you know what I mean? And that really helps, even though it was like PlayStation and Xboxy things. Then that's it basically. Right, so what I'm doing here is constantly changing my throttles, right? They're going forward and backward.
Yeah, this is the delicate balance I need to find. Also not got a dedicated space for it. Was setting up and taking it down every time.
Yeah, no, I understand that. It can be really quite difficult. Where there's literally, I kid you not, when we moved to this house, I'm walking around the rooms and I'm saying to the woman who was showing us around, what size is this room? What size is this? Because my computer desk, I've got two 2-meter desks, sort of in a sort of, you know, one's straight across in front of me and one's on the left-hand side turned. And she's looking at me because this is like the second bedroom of this house. And it's a reasonable size. But my computer desk and equipment takes the room up, literally. And then Lisa's got the other room. Right, so we can see now, look, in that little window, whether we're catching up. If it's getting bigger, I'm getting closer, right? You're on autopilot now, by the way.
I was, yeah.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You can see it bobbles around a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. And trying to get it to stay at one speed is not.
Yeah, but when you're flying, right, it's just, as I said, it's just throttle basically. But yeah, you can see now, look, where he is. Whether he's moving forward in that window or moving back. So you can see he's moving back, therefore I'm catching up. You can see by the size of him, he's towards the top. If I move slightly higher, then get a bit closer. If he starts moving the wrong way, it means I need to back off. But I'm not looking at anything except him. Right, so that plane there is all I'm focused on. And if it turns, then I turn with it. And I try and imagine a stick through the wings of that one, through my wings, and so on. Okay, so what we need to do now is increase our height. So full throttle and then pull up 5 degrees, okay? And tell me when.
Okay.
Don't forget you've got a pitch or a path hold. If you use path hold, yeah, that will hold you on a 5 degrees as long as you've got the speed.
Yep.
If it can't maintain it, then drop it down to a climb of about 3 instead of 5.
I'm exactly on 5 and I've got it on path hold.
path hold, which is forward on the switch.
Yeah.
There you go. So, see, you can drink your cup of tea now.
I think it's gone cold.
Ring your bell.
I ain't got a bell.
Get yourself a bell. You got to remain hydrated when you fly these planes. Okay, let me know when we're at 9,800 feet. All right, cock. We'll probably get a message at some point soon telling us there's a convoy in red smoke. Don't worry about it. We'll come to that later when we start using point instead of area on the TGP. What's our height at the moment?
9798 is hit.
Okay, so you're going to tell me you're levelling out, even though I know you are?
Leveling enough at 10,000 feet.
Okay, right, I'm going to break off, move left, and I'm going to climb a little bit higher, okay? So I won't get in your way. What I'm also going to do then is send you a target area, or I can tell you where to find these particular targets if you want.
Okay.
So I'm levelling off. I'm around about 10.7ish, all right?
Okay.
Right, I'll tell you how to do it actually, how to find these things. So, on your TAD, make sure your TAD is soy.
Yep.
Change it from this mode to, I forgot to make it soy myself, to EXP1.
Don't see that.
EXP1 is China hat forward short. Jesus, I've just noticed how far away we are, but keep going, not a problem. China hat forward short and you'll get EXP1.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so move the map along until you can see where the SPI is. Using obviously DMS and your little analog stick.
Yeah. I don't see that. It seemed quite in. Can you see?
No, zoom out. Yeah, DMS aft. I'm on 1 to 250. Okay, you got it? You see where your SPI is?
Yes, B1, yeah.
Okay, right, now, if you look up and to the right, you can see a largish brown area, like a towny thing, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, now, if you look above that, you'll see two sets of numbers, 475 and brackets 215.
Correct.
Right, put your cursor in the middle of that number 5 on the bottom row.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's a blue line. I can't remember if the blue line is the road or not, but either way, what we're going to do is put the cursor on the bit where the blue line crosses that 5 or thereabouts, okay?
Okay.
And then TMS right short, and it'll give you your mark point.
Yep, my point 8.
Okay, do function 8 on the upfront controller to switch to mark point.
And that.
Okay, so now you've got a mark point on the floor, more or less where the targets are going to be. So here's an opportune moment to fence in. Okay, so fence in. So fence is an acronym, so we're going to put master arm laser.
What fencing in is.
I can't remember the acronym, but master arm, laser arm, TGP. Take off your autopilot, pop up the gun pack, correct for the drop. Just trim the drop out. Okay, put on your countermeasures onto manual and put your lights off. So this is 3301 fenced in, fuel 8.7.
Oops. Oh dear. Oh, wrong button.
You haven't switched yourself off, have you? Right, what else have we not done? Do you remember?
No.
We've got a QFE of 2982, which is great if we go into the airport. It needs to be 2992. And then select TGP on the right screen, and when it's timed out. You okay? Yeah, I bet you don't.
Yeah.
So once your TGP warms up, go to ground. Is it ground? Yeah, air to ground mode when it's timed up.
Yeah.
Timed up, timed out. So what we're doing, we're flying not too high, we're keeping just below the clouds. We know there's a really strong right to left wind, okay? So when we were dropping bombs over here before, one of the things that we did was we went up the road that everything's going to be parked on and then dropped the bombs. We changed the height of function and we compensated for the wind, if you remember.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do this time is find the center point of all of that stuff, or maybe just before, and we're going to then put our mark point right in the center, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And once we do that, that's going to be our point for dropping the bombs. I'm a little bit out, nothing major though. I was a little bit low. So the convoy's en route to the targets. If you go to your TGP once it's warmed up, force it to look at the mark point.
Yeah, I'm watching the movie.
Yeah, you can see the convoy coming in. Right. So we need to put, once the convoy's there, a point right on the road, right in the middle,
Okay.
which will be the one we use as our reference point. Now, when you're doing this, don't forget you can use the China hat forward short once, and your TGP will jump in another notch.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've done that, wait for the convoy to be there. I'm going to do it without, because I'll just use this as my reference point. So I've moved my TGP to there and I've made a mark point B, just so I've got a point of reference. Right. Let me know when you've sort of got that done.
Am I waiting for the...
It's up to you. I've just judged it. So you can do it either way. Wait for them to be there, or whichever you want.
I think they would pass by then. I'm only
Okay. Well, when you get
mile away.
okay, when you get into a position that's relevant, just start a right orbit. Okay, with a nice, easy right-hand turn. So I'll do that now. We're going to change the autopilot mode to altitude. And then we can just put in a nice, easy right. This is a little bit steeper than what I would normally do, but that'll serve the purpose. The convoy and everything, I think, is on that road over there. If we zoom out a little bit, oh, we can't now. Now we're masked, which is fine. Right, have you got your mark done? And have you got an orbit yet?
I'm in an orbit. I haven't got the mark done because I haven't stopped moving.
Okay, that's fine. What we're going to do while we're waiting then is if you go to your dismiss, you'll see you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 CBU 97s, all roundabouts. So what we're going to do is select the one on station 4, and you should have one on station 8 as well. Pardon?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Right, and then select inventory.
Just selecting station 4,
Yeah, yeah. And then select inventory.
Yeah.
And then select station 4 again.
Yeah.
CBU 97. Height of function 900 on the left.
Oh yeah, CPU.
CBU.
Yeah.
Right, you got height of function
Yeah.
900, and then this time select load sim. Do you remember when I said about load symmetrical?
Oh yeah, it's going to do them all. Yeah.
Yeah, so go stat.
Yeah.
Okay, and when you select, if you select 4 and 8,
Yeah.
are they both lit?
Yeah.
Right, if you select 3, what happens?
It turns off 4 and 8.
And that's because 4 and 8 are not set the same. Okay, so you set 4 and 8, go to profile, and we're going to change them to CCRP and save. Then go back out to stat, alright?
Yeah, I've done that.
Excellent. So, make your mark when you're ready.
They're still moving.
Okay.
I don't know where to make the mark until they stop moving.
Right.
They're nearly there though.
They're not far off. What I'm going to do is just flatten this turn, and then we can see them all, look. Remember that the TGP is on the right wing here. So when I'm turning down to the right like I was, I'm turning this away, and then it's having to look at these missiles. If we look at an external shot, right, there's the TGP, and we can see it's looking down here. You can see the little lens there just showing up. So if I turn too hard right, what will happen is I'm causing it to mask. Have I gone too far back here? Possibly, look. There we go. Okay, they're stopped now. You happy?
Yeah, just masked at the moment.
That's fine. So the shallower the angle, right, the more centralised they are, the less masking you'll get. So you can see they've stopped on a road. Okay? And what I want you to do when you've done your mark is I want you to sort of fly down the map a little bit, turn round and fly back up that road. The reason being, if you remember, when we do Mavericks, we want maximum exposure. So we're coming in perpendicular, where it's 90 degrees to that road, where we can shoot multiple targets. When we drop in these bombs, we want to be able to come up the road, right, and drop and cover as many targets that way rather than the other way. However, we're going to try both. So I can see from mine, I'm nearly ready to make a turn, right? So when you're happy that you've got your mark in the right place, can you fly 20 mile down the road? Right, you should already have the information in your hood. You should have a point. Hey, good morning. Yeah, good morning, Gish. It still is good morning. So basically, I'll show you what we're doing, right? We've just changed the height of function. The height of function is when you drop the bomb, right? At what point is it going to go pop and drop all the parachutes? Now, as you've seen earlier on, it's incredibly windy low down. And the thing is, with it being windy, is this is dropping parachutes. And the default height of function is 1,800 feet. Therefore, all your parachutes actually blow off the target, which is no good at all. So what we're doing is we drop the height of function as we did last time we flew, which was 2 weeks ago. And that basically reduces the spread, keeps the parachutes in the air for less, or should I say less. And this is where our target is at the moment. And you can see I'm coming in at a funny angle. And all I've got to do is line that up, and then 20 seconds I'll get a count, blah, blah, blah. But that's not what we're after today. And I'll show you in a minute. So what I need to do is try and get these trucks in a line behind me. So we need to fly up the road. So I'm going to give myself some distance, as is Whizbit. I nearly said Horny then, but Horny was years ago. So we would fly up the road to get maximum cover. Okay, you're flying back down the map yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
No lamppost is safe.
I know. We were talking about that earlier. Horny was used as a reference point when I did the first one. This is the third one. So whenever you're learning how to shoot anything, fire missiles, weapons, drop bombs, you always want to give yourself plenty of distance to work with, because believe me, targets come up on you so damn quick. So I'm sitting literally just beneath the clouds. Let's have a look, see where was this? Is that Wiz? Are you okay, Wiz?
Yeah. I'm just trying to find out which way the road is. It's really difficult for me to do it without the helmet HUD to see where anything is, because the HUD is like up screen, it's so small. and my head tracking just bounces all over the place. And
Oh, hang on. Could you just say what head tracking you're using?
Hobie, don't get it. Not for DCS anyway. Star Citizen, it's okay.
Is it bouncing around because of the light? Have you got light coming in?
No, it's bouncing around because like I can't connect it to the monitor. It's actually broken my monitor with trying to stick it to it. And so it's underneath the monitor, behind it, and yeah, it's just.
So you got other things masking it and stuff. So it's not necessarily that Toby's bad. It's just that it's the positioning and it's annoying.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you can put your HMD on if you want. I mean, we did go through that before. There's no reason why you can't have it on. So it's actually HMCS. So it's a helmet-mounted queuing sight. This came in with the A10C II, and I'm so old that I don't bother with it that much. But when you've got it there, it's such a very good situational awareness. So I'm going to turn in now, and we'll start looking towards the target. All right, just make sure you're still on mark point. I'm just going to demonstrate what this thing will do, but I'm not going to drop any bombs. So ideally what we want to do is go up the road as straight as we can. So doing this gives us plenty of time to correct. So you can see where my point is, you can see where that is. Slightly out at the moment, so I need to go left. And then let's start turning here. Just see if we can get these so that they are
I'm going to start coming back in now.
in a line. Right, okay. So I'm still a little bit out, but that can be corrected. What I want you to see, and this is the interesting thing, you don't need a TGP to do this at all. I'm just using it as my point of reference. The line is there. We're a little bit out. I'm going to put... Right, I'm describing this. I'm not asking you to do it, all right?
I have to wear radiators for my Tobii. My usual specs interfere with the tracking.
Ah, yeah, that's a good one, actually. I'm going to move this back to here. And do you remember this here? So if we put CDU, look. None. Wind, temp, both none. And what you're interested in, right, is if we look over there and we turn up this road, this is with none. So there's my target line. So I'm coming up straightish. It's not perfectly straight, but it doesn't need to be. But what I want you to do is watch what happens, right? Right, I've put it on auto. When I select this, watch what the line does. See? So, to take into account the wind and the temperature, you set it to both, and that's made a very subtle adjustment. And that takes into my height the wind at all these different locations, and the more accurate I can get this, the better it'll be. See, we're off a little bit there. Let's turn that way. Now there's my countdown. I should be ready to drop the bomb. But what it does is it moves this P-brill, or predicted bomb release line. And that's where the drop would be if I was holding the button. Okay. And it calculates the adjustment I need to make for the conditions. And that's all it does. But I can be coming in from any direction at any height, okay? And it'll calculate where the new mark should be.
I'm 11 mile out now.
Okay.
Should I turn around and come back?
Yeah, turn around, come back and try and get them as accurate. And once you are fairly well lined up, right?
I think I'm good to go.
Okay, I want you to, on your CDU, on the right leg, I want you to make sure that the page is turned to other, and hopefully by default it'll be back on that win page.
Okay. This, no.
Have you done that?
It's on waypoint at the moment. How do I get it to other?
No, the one to the right, where it says steer position. Just,
okay, so it's on still.
can you see all the wind stuff still?
Yeah.
I want your right hand screen now to be on CDU, bearing in mind you've got your helmet.
I don't know how to switch it on.
Oh, sorry, it's on the right hand side by your right butt cheek, a little toggle that says on off battery.
Oh, I did see that.
Okay, and you've got it in your hood anyway. So if on the CDU you've got the wind thing, okay? On the top right it says none. Is that correct? Right. So I want you to line yourself up for your target. So your line is down the middle of your pipper.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Now select that button next to none and watch what happens to the line. And it'll cycle through non, wind, temp, both.
Yeah.
Can you see the line jiggling around?
Yeah.
Right, select none for now.
Right.
And then come through and drop your bomb. The next time round, I want you to choose any angle and select both. When you select both, that is making an adjustment, right, for your height, your speed, where you are, and everything to make the bombs more accurate.
Okay.
Okay, so by dropping the height of function down to 900, we've already made it more accurate.
Shit, I missed them.
By using the last, right, we've made it even more accurate. It's making the calculation, all right?
Yeah. I have to turn out and come back like. At the time I got all that sorted out, I was on.
Well, that's why you do 20 mile.
I was 20 miles.
That's fine. But you don't need your TGP. We could have left it behind, to be fair, but... So just by doing that then, we'll make these bombs even more accurate. And on the first pass you'll get quite a few. It'll be slightly off with a smaller circle. On the second one, it should be better. Look around to your left when you get the chance. I'm just seeing if your head bobbles around much. Or look down at your instruments. The thing is, the heads in this don't go up and down, they only ever go left and right. Okay. So let me when you're doing a running with it on none.
Yeah.
Obviously things are going to space out, but I don't want you to change your point. Once you've got your point, I want you to leave it where it is, and then we can look at the different way in which the bomb falls. Right.
Yeah, okay.
Don't worry, we haven't got too much time long left. Said it'll be a short one. And then hopefully you're okay in 2 weeks.
Yeah, hopefully.
And then
I'm off again then.
what was I going to say? Eventually we'll be doing some terrain masking and going at Sam's.
I'm 10 mile out, but I'm going to come back in anyway because
Okay.
keep going around in circles.
Yeah. Now just make sure you're all nice and level and try and line up the P-brill through the centre, and you'll see a little indicator of your velocity vector. So try and get that as perfect in line as you can. And as I said, this is going to be with no correction. What's your height at the moment?
10, 3.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I think we're out of space as well.
Right, so you're all lined up to make the bomb drop. Don't forget, when it gets to about 16, press and hold the button. Don't let go of it till the bomb's dropped.
I'm lined up. 1 minute. 26 seconds apparently.
So this is with none selected.
Correct.
So you're coming in slightly left to right, which is okay. So it means the bomb's going to carry further to the right. So it might actually work out that you're going to get a good hit anyway.
Seconds.
I think my keyboard has just died a death. Did you say pickle then, or did you go ooh?
I did. No, I said pickle.
I wasn't sure if it is a pickle or a ooh. So this will go off quite quick. So there's all the little parachutes. Ah, come on. I can't get to see the bloody bomb drop.
And off to the left. Right there.
Oh, let's try that. Did it hit them?
I don't think so. It went right off to the left.
Did it? Okay, come in and do a run again, and this time select both before you line up. So it went off to the left, which is what we'd expect.
Right, they haven't even moved.
Yeah, they just looked and laughed. That's what it was. And I'm not sure what's going on with my thingamajigs. My keyboard's playing up as much as my pedals are.
Yeah, you're probably better off looking through F7 or whatever it is.
F7 will put me down to the trucks, but you can follow the bombs down. But my keyboard's not playing, it's playing silly buggers. And it's my free view. I'll just wait while he's going round. Free camera left control F11. So it's that. There we go. That's what I wanted.
I heard the devs fixed that problem in Silly Buggers 2.
Silly buggers too. Right, that'll do, I think. We'll get the gist. What should happen is it'll be more accurate. Now, I don't know which came first, last or the GPS. I suppose last did. But it cost 250,000 for the wing kit on the back of a CBU 105. That's when it come out many years ago. So this basically saves you 250,000 a bomb, but some missions may not have the wind corrected munitions on. Have you come to see if I want to drink? Just 1 minute. Did you hear that?
Of course.
Okay,
I'm
good.
standing right next to you. So
Yeah,
I
but-
just heard it.
But I just like to make... Sorry, have you pickled yet?
Ding ding.
Behave. Don't you dare, Platty, encourage
Okay.
him.
9 seconds.
Sorry about the cough there.
Hi Lisa.
She's gone, Platty. What was that, sorry?
It hit the same place as far as I could see.
Has it even come down?
Yeah?
I think you've got a slight problem. You haven't dropped a bomb on the target. I think you haven't set a SPI in the where your mark point is, and if your mark point's there, it can't be in the right place. I think you're way out somewhere.
Okay.
So have a look. Use your 2GP, switch it back to 2GP, and make sure your TMS up long. Otherwise, you've not set a SPI, and I think your SPI's in the wrong place. Because whilst I appreciate it's windy, it's not windy to the fact that we haven't even seen a bomb drop. Bear in mind you've dropped 2 bombs, so now you need to make sure you're on a height function of 900, right? And you've set the next pair of bombs. I'm going to do it anyway as a demonstration.
Okay.
So let's have a look. Target is over there. I'm in a completely weird direction, but that's fine. And I've got no what's it on. So let's level up. So I'll be dropping a couple of bombs by the time you get there. So I've got to line these up as best as I can. Remember, this is a dumb bomb. It's not guided. Need to speed up a little bit as well. So we're going to get a 20-second countdown, which we'll see in a minute. What I've got to do is make sure this little ball, which will start to drop, goes through the 3-9 line. The 3-9 line is an imaginary line drawn. See the 5s in the middle? It's that 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. And there's my target there. And there will be a little bit of drift. I can see I'm a bit out. But this is going to be close enough. So when we're 20 seconds out, I'll see a countdown, a little 20 appear at the ball at the top.
Up the next set of CBUs.
Okie dokie.
I'm going to watch the rest of Grace before I do anything else.
Okay, nice. Thank you. Can I set an alarm for 42.5 minutes?
Why 42.5 minutes?
That's when I need my next cup of tea. I hope that sigh wasn't picked up by everyone, because that sounds like
I'm
nearly
sure
contemptuous.
Intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I did it.
Mm-hmm.
So that everybody that's watching knows how exhilarating, whatever you call it.
Exhilarating I am.
Exhilarating you are, that's the one.
No, it's not, but that'll do.
All day long.
All day. Well, you shouldn't be, I feel, should you?
Well, it's not my fault.
Bumping old people, that's what it is. Right, I've got a 20-second countdown.
1, 2.
You did you, Platty? Good. I'm glad you did. Shall I do it one more time?
Platty said hello, by the way, to you. You did earlier? Right, I'm holding the button now. I'm a little bit off here, look, nothing major. That'll drop through. Pickle. And we should see that bomb with a bit of luck. Oh, what? Come on, there it is. There's my plane over the top. It's coming down, and I'll hit that button, and that button. Right. Okay, you see the way it's like blown away, and I've damaged a couple of them. Don't forget everything's moving, all right? Managed to get that one there, look, because it went into it. But you see the way the bomb is over. So don't forget your targets are moved, but I want you to leave the indicator in the same place. So this time I'm going to turn round, see if I can get it done too late before Whiz comes round. Doesn't like this turning, does it? Come on.
You want me to stay firing at what I was firing at?
I want you to do it first of all without. If you can adjust once I've dropped this second bomb, just adjust. I want you to do a bomb with 0 change, right? I need to change this look. Both. See my line change?
You mean wing correction?
No, one with none, yeah. Oh, that's as close as I can get it. Pickle. That should work. I hope. So now I'm coming from another direction. It hopefully, even though I was a little bit out anyway, hopefully it's made a slight change, and it should fall more on the road. Not so worried about the targets at this point. More about where it falls. Look, can you see where they're going? They're actually on the road, and they spread either side of the road. So even though the wind is blowing, you can see which way the wind's blowing. The bomb now dropped. If they all would have still been on the road, it would have dropped straight on them. Right. Do you get the gist? Okay, if you make your new mark, and that's all that wind correction does basically. So it dropped and adjusted the bomb over the other side of the road depending on the wind, etc, etc. So let's have a little look. Yeah, you can change your mark so that you're over the targets, but I don't need to change for the second time. It did work. You could see the difference in the way the bombs dropped. One, they dropped the other side of the road as expected, and the other one, they straddled the road, with the road being the main focus. Try Wiz has picked up a cold and doesn't feel great today. And I've got a cup of tea. Excuse me for talking in your right ear. So I'm just leaning over to get it. Oops. You're still here, Camel, by the way, or have you since wandered off? How far out are you at the moment? Prox.
13
Okay, and this is on your non-setting.
it will be once I change that, yes.
I bet you'll be glad when it's over, won't you?
Yeah.
I can tell by the tone in your voice and how you sound.
I can't. I can't get back to the CPU page.
Okay, top left, if you go... Dismiss, is it? What page are you on at the moment?
I'm on the CDU page, it's just got waypoint A, and I can't find.
Okay,
If I just.
so on the CDU page, are you on other at the moment? Is the knob on the right set to other?
It is other, yeah.
Okay, so just select sys and then last on the top right and then wind.
Okay.
Has that got it?
Yes, now I can change it from both to none.
Yeah, so if you put it on your CDU, yeah, change it to none and then drop it. I said today was going to be quite a bit of time in the seat, but once you've set it up, it really does help with all your dumb bombs. This will work across all your dumb bombs, not just these. It's good to show how these basically change. If we just drop one normal, for instance, I'll drop one of these normal. It'll be nowhere near the target. It'll just blow away, and they're also on CCIP, so I'll change those. CCIP is continuously calculated impact point. I think it is all calculated. And then CCRP is release point. So one you fly level and drop the bomb, and the other one you do a dive. And this is why this comes under last, because you don't need to dive, you can just drop it using this method and there's no diving involved, and it makes them more accurate. So the target area is just above his nose there. If I move like that, that's the road they're on. So once you drop this, just go back again, circle round, and then select both. Did you change your marker to be more for the target, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, and leave this one there. Hey, Iowa guy. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the raid. I will go with your two awesome viewers.
Good afternoon. You come in pieces.
Gentlemen, we come in pieces.
How the devil are you? So we're just doing, well, I say just, we Okay, we are doing wind correction on the A10C so that we can basically correct the path of dumb bombs, and using CBU 97s to demonstrate it. This pass now that Wiz is doing is without the
Also flying CPUs, say no discrimination.
no discrimination yet. Welcome to the channel anyway, and thank you for the raid there. So we'll follow the bomb down and switch. So it's got a 20-second count. This is how to make them more accurate using wind correction on CBU 97s. We've got a really strong wind blowing at the moment. Making a few last minute alignment adjustments. There's the bomb. Little bit out by the looks of it, but it should be fine. So this is without wind correction. Picked a few more targets up there.
Yeah.
That will also be partly due to coming in at a slight angle off rather than down the road. So you're carrying the bomb over, right? So now come back, do the same thing. Don't move the marker and leave it on wind correction. And is your marker on the road still or just off?
The marker is actually on the vehicles that were just off the road.
Okay,
Changed it
no worries. So leave it where it is.
to. Okay.
And let's see if you get a better drop. You took sort of, I think, 4 or 5 out there. Everything else is moving back onto the road, look.
Now set it to both.
Discord is again.
Okay.
quiet.
Discord. This isn't Discord. This is TeamSpeak.
You don't want me to change my marker? There's going to be nothing there to hit, is there?
We'll see. Think you'll be surprised. Try and come straight up the road if you can. And then just change it to both.
Oh, old style TS.
Yes.
Anyway, it is quiet too.
Yeah, everyone's quiet at the moment. This is quite heavy, this little topic that we've been doing. And there's quite a lot to do, really. It's all on the video. It's on YouTube too, so it's recorded. But I still haven't made the videos of it. But it's just a good little thing to know, especially when it's windy. Next time we're on, which will be 2 weeks' time, we'll start moving on to laser guided, body lasing, laser spot search, and probably some more of the GPS guided bombs. So that'll be, oh yeah, that's it, and then we'll finish off with dumb bombs and things. And using wind retarded bombs. Right, so get as good as line as possible this time.
Mm-hmm. Is there a
So
way of telling how you're lined up apart from using the F10 map?
yeah, just look at what's in front of you. Look at your SPI, and you can see, you should be able to see the road out the window anyway. You can see the town in front of you, and then just line up with your indicators, you know where your speed is, you've got a town in front of you.
Yeah.
In theory, you shouldn't really need the F10 map. I know we use it, but we shouldn't need it. You're not too bad. If you do a bit of a right now, you should be okay. That's a little bit off, but it's fine. It's good enough.
You set what's on the timer.
Bomb's going to drop in a minute.
Be cool.
That will blow over to the right.
When Scott 27 said, boom.
There we go. Well, you did blow something up. I couldn't see your bloody parachutes though.
Yeah, pretty much hit where I was aiming for last time, but there was no vehicles there.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But you could you see how that was corrected?
Yeah.
Right, it's up to you now because I know you're not feeling great. So if you want to fly back and land, feel free. Or if you want to drop some more bombs on the remaining targets, it's up to you.
Okay.
What you going to do?
Drop the remaining.
Oh, you're going to drop the remaining ones? Okay.
But I can change my point now and use both still, right?
Yeah, do it how you want to do it, but use it on both. So a quick refresh for those that are just coming in case you didn't know. So what we've done is set up a whole load of data using a calculator, and this goes through about 5 settings indicating what the wind speed is and direction and temperature for various altitudes, and then utilising this to change the position of the bomb to allow for the wind, which means we can come in from any angle, any height, and it'll make an adjustment for us, okay, to make it more accurate. So what I'm going to do is just switch this back over to my TGP. I'm going to change my point. We can see there's a lot of targets there. So I'm going to put this right there. Okay, made that my speed. Go back to my CDU. Speed's over to the left. Now I can't remember, did I change my height of function for these? Let me just check. No, I didn't. Okay, we'll leave them as they are. Let's see what it looks like without the height of function change. It's going to be a really big spread. So this is for the benefit that those have just come in and missed some of this earlier. So there's our bomb, predicted bomb release line. Oh, where the hell am I? Am I on top of it, really? Looks like it. So I didn't want to do that just then. Let's move a little bit further away. Yes, I know it's autopilot. As I said, you can see it is windy, and the wind's blowing from one side to the other. So what this will do is make a correction for the wind. So let me move somewhat. I've already got my speed set up there on the middle of that road, as you just saw. If I can sit up, there it is. And we'll just drop this bomb or two. So what I'll do, let's take that off there. I'll leave that one as default, and this one here, I'll change the height of function for number 9, CBU 97. I'll change that to 900, which will reduce its spread. I'll select that, go back to here. You'll see I can't select these two at the same time. The other thing I've got to be aware of, that needs to be on CCRP. And let's see if we can change that one, CCRP. Oh no, that changes that one back. I thought it might. Look. Profile, yeah, because I adjusted that. Save that and leave it there. There we go. So I'll have to change the other one when I come round to it. So if we just turn round and whiz around quickly, hopefully I've got enough room. So with this method, it doesn't matter which way you come in. Normally you'd want to come up the road. Doesn't really matter. There's my predicted bomb release line. Now when I adjust this, you'll see that move from none, right, to wind, temp and both. And that has basically taken into account where I put it, looked at what the wind, temperature and everything else was doing. And now this is a standard bomb, but this will drop at 1800 feet. Do you know what? I'm not sure whether the wind corrector...
521 said Mr. Melon Chat.
Hey, hello Mustang. You're right. I'm not sure whether the wind correction takes into any account about the height function. It shouldn't do, because I think it's just for all sort of dumb bombs. Do you know what I mean? Just moving this over a little bit. Try and get this as lined up as I can. So this is without any correction, using the wind correction without any height function. So this should have a much bigger spread, a little bit out at the moment. I'm going to start holding the button in a second. There now. As long as that ball drops over the 9.3 line, it'll drop. Pickle. We'll go and have a little look, see what sort of damage it does. Bearing in mind the wind, the parachute's going to open at 1800 feet, which will give a lot bigger spread than before. And it's corrected the wind, hopefully. There's a parachute all blowing over. And you see the way they are spread, look at that. All across the road, all over those. And that's a pretty damn good drop in the wind that we've got. I put my target smack down the middle of the road. That was a good drop.
That was, that's what I was looking at, yeah.
I put my target in the middle of the road.
Did you?
Yes. So I literally picked the middle of the road amongst that lot, flew over with both, and you saw how far it pushed the bomb over. Anyway, I'm sorry if I've just taken all your targets.
Okay.
And that was on standard 1800 feet.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I've changed mine to 900.
Yeah, my second one's 900. Right, so this one, which I need to change back to CCRP, it's already set to 900. We'll do the same thing, but it's a lot lower. So the bomb will open lower, it will drift less, and it will be a more focused spread. So, but you saw the difference. I mean, this wind is blowing, you'll notice when we come down to land, and yet those little chutes were dropped out at 1800 foot, which would normally have blown away. But that was a pretty good one, to be fair. Obviously, if you've got SAMs and stuff like that, which is not what this plane was designed for, although it's good fun, then if you get the opportunity, it's quite a devastating weapon. I think they banned in real life now because the way things blow around don't always go to the targets necessarily and remain there, but these ones apparently do. If they don't blow anything up, they become inert. But then again, becoming inert and actually being inert are two different things. So that took out most of those. I'll leave those. I'll leave all the main ones down on the main road part for you, alright? So I'm not sure where you're targeting. I'm concentrating up the what's it end.
That's moving now. There's a smoking T90 and a Uriel that are just driving.
I'm doing the bit up by the buildings at the top. Need to come over here a little bit. Go back a little bit. I think I'm already on the target. This one's focused down at 900, so it'll be a lot smaller spread. Try holding the button down. Pickle. So you'll see a similar thing coming in from a completely different direction. It should still push the bomb to the right, even though we're going, well, to the left from this side, look. The actual SPI is in the middle of the road, but this will be a lot more focused. See where it goes? See them all blowing across? And you get a little circle appear. Now there's not many vehicles down there. But you see how it took into account the wind, even though the marker's on the road. Okay, you still got quite a few trucks down the main road. I'll put this into an orbit. Anyone got any questions? No, the default is 1800. So the default is 18. So it depends. If it's really windy, right, you want to stop them blowing away and be more focused. So we change the height of function to 900, which is the lowest you can do it. So with wind correction, the one I dropped before actually did a hell of a lot of damage. That was left at default.
Cool.
Right, but if you're not using wind correction, that bomb would have blown away. Let's go and have a look at this. It would have blown away, and the parachutes would have blown away off target completely. So you drop it where it's set to 900, and that way round it's a smaller circle. So again, what Wiz is dropping there, probably aiming for all these trucks, but using that wind correction. Look, see? It'll bomb anything. The way those bombs work is they'll come down, it opens up, it drops a cylinder that spins round on a parachute, right? Or on lots of parachutes, I think there's 6. It suddenly shoots up in the air, spins round, lets these little bomblets out, which are, I think, pyramid shape or like a cone, and they spin. And what they do is they point at the ground and ascribe an arc or a circle, and they look for a target within that circle. If they find a target, they'll fire molten metal at it, I believe.
I see.
Right? That's how it works. However, it really depends. You can see how strong this wind is. And normally by default, because...
Never used this on A10.
Oh yeah, the CBUs are very good, but look at the wind. Now bear in mind it drops parachutes. If you just do it normally with a CBU 97, it would have a big spread and all the parachutes will blow off the target. But what we're doing is something a bit more advanced. We're using the CBU 97 and then programming something called LAST, which is low altitude safety and target enhancement. So we've set up a whole load of settings to take into account the wind at ground level, 1,000, 2,000, 7,000 and 26,000 feet. It also takes into account the temperature. So when you come to drop the bombs, right, this function now, you can either set it to wind, temperature or both. And when you set it to both, it makes a calculation. It moves your predicted bomb release line into a position into the wind, and therefore gives it much more effectiveness. Otherwise you're going to have to do the same thing with a wet finger and use your eyes and then make adjustments accordingly. Yeah, that's the bit you missed. If you watch the video towards the beginning, once the aircraft is started, we got over a couple of hurdles. If you move on, it's on YouTube, and it'll be under live and beginners at A10C Part 3. And if you scoot along, you'll see, and we use this calculator. If you go online, see this calculator? So at the top part here, we fed in the details from the what's the word? Forgot what the word is now. From the briefing, sorry, we fed in the details at the bottom of the briefing, and it calculated these underneath, and then we fed those into the last. Okay. But you can find the calculator online. Just go for DCS wind correction calculator. How you doing? Did you notice how you just completely blew the thing up in the middle of the road and the adjustment it made?
No, I didn't really notice it.
It was pretty good. I've got 2 left. How many you got left?
1 left. I'm going to do it now once I can get in on a straight run.
So these are default. So these will be 1,800 feet. So that will give me a lot bigger circle. And let me take that off, and I'll wait till Wiz has done their drop, and then what I'll do is I'll pick a target somewhere in the middle of this slot, and we'll see what's left. I need to nip to the loo. Wiz, I'll be back in a short while.
Okay.
Right, I'll leave the mic live, but you won't hear anything. Pity we can't turn that little silver plate upside down. It look like a little table. Right, okay. How you doing, Wiz?
Yeah, just pickled.
Let's have a look. You bugger. I missed that button. I missed that then, I'm afraid. How was it?
It's alright, it hit the target I was going for.
Okay, is that your last bomb or you got another one?
No, that was it.
Okay, do you want to sort yourself out and go and land? Do you remember how to do it all?
Something about divert from somewhere.
Yeah, use the divert and I'll explain it when I do it in a minute.
That on CDU?
Yeah.
Do I have to change it back to steer?
Change it, no, not yet, otherwise you can't select. Change it to nav.
So it's on other at the moment, on the...
Yeah, no, that stays on other. And hit the nav button on the bottom of the CDU. Right, so here for instance, so I want to hit these.
I don't have nav, have wing...
No. No, there's a nav on the buttons underneath the CDU.
Oh, okay.
And then when you do nav, you'll see divert.
Gotcha, thank you.
Right, okay. So let's go and find this point.
52, 98, runway 9.
Here we go.
What's the heading? Is it 266?
261. If you're never sure, it's right shift and K. And then you find the base. I will explain this to everybody because if you know how to do this, oh my goodness me. That was a lot closer than I expected. I must have been orbiting the target. I'm going to just extend a little bit and I'll only drop the one bomb. And the fact I'm going to come in from a different direction doesn't really matter. As you can see, the target is right underneath me as it happens. So we'll just extend out a bit. And then once you land, as long as you land nicely, you can be excused.
Thank you.
Right, so what you've done today then is, obviously we'll go through the startup. We found out that if you don't wait for the startup, your EAC is not going to work.
Yeah.
So you found out how to restart the alignment.
Yes.
We looked at the wind calculator and using the values in the briefing, we fed those into the wind calculator, which if you want, as I said, just Google DCS A10C wind calculator. It's a tiny little XC. And then we looked at dropping dumb bombs, not only changing from 1800 to 900 for the height function, but also the effectiveness by programming the last and how that affects the target placements. Yeah. And even on 1800, that works incredibly well. I was surprised because when I dropped mine, I thought it would drift a bit, but it didn't. It landed bang centre on what I was aiming at, and the spread was all around it. And it's
said earlier I dropped a CBU 102 and the server dev was watching. Now he banned cluster bombs. LOL.
I'm not surprised. Did you mean a 103? So it's actually banned them, has he? That's terrible. So this will just make it so accurate. So I'll put a SPI in between that little group of targets, right? And so I reckon that we should be able to demolish them all. So at the moment, the target is not taking anything into account because it says none here. And the fact that this is programmed into this plane is amazing, right? What you've got to remember is this plane was used to teach the American pilots how to transition from an A10A, which is the free one you get, to an A10C. So before this became part of DCS, the game, as we know it, that's what this was used for. And that's why the modelling is so damn good and the functionality is really good. It just does what it's supposed to do. Right, let's turn round and have a little look. I'm going to do this fairly ragged, and then what we'll do is we'll go and land. Now, it is blowing a lot. I'm even contemplating taking a Huey out in this wind because I want to see, or show you if it works, how good you can set it. Right, now this is a default setting. There's the speed. I'm a little bit off. I'm going to go right a little bit. Bring that over there. And what this calculation does that I've been talking about, let's pop that there for those who are a bit late. When I switch this, you'll see that line move. Okay? So it moves depending on whether it's on wind, alone, temperature, or both. So using the data that we fed in earlier on, it's made a calculation and it's adjusting the setting for the predicted bomb release line. So I've got to try and line this up on the speed, which you can see down there. Let me take this off because that makes life a lot easier. I'm still on pause. So I'm going to align that up. And then with these bombs, when it gets to 20, you'll see a little counter. I've gone the wrong side, I think. Yep. You'll see a little counter on the ball. We fly level in CCRP, and then we have to drop the bomb, and let's see where it goes. Okay, and it's taken into account the wind, otherwise all the little bomblets will blow away, especially dropping them from this height, and the fact that they're opening up at 800. I'm a bit out here, look, just trying to correct that. There we go, we'll get the countdown in a minute. I'll hold the button down round about 6 as it starts to drop. A smidgen out, but nothing too major. Okay, holding the button. As it goes through the 9-3 line, pickle, and bombs away. So we'll have a look at it. See, it's not where the bomb drops, it's where the bomblets go. So this is going to drop where the wind's blowing from. You see the way I put it in between all those little things? And it goes over there. It's pushed it over that way. And now if we have a little look, with a bit of luck, it'll take out quite a few of the remaining vehicles. Well, that was a bit shit. Oh, there it goes. They're drifting. There you go. Straight centred on that road again. Do you get the gist? So it basically corrected for the wind and pushed it left and also down from that direction. Right, I'm going to drop these and then we'll look at a good way. The reason it did that is because it saw my bombs under me. Right, another good use of this, we're going to land. Now, one of the things, if you fly the A10, you know that it's got every single it's got every single airbase in the map by default in the CDU. However, if we go, let's have a look, onto the CDU and we choose nav. Now we don't have to go down there. We can do it from here. And if we go function number 2, that's like selecting nav on the CDU. If we go divert, we can land at any airbase and hardly without looking be able to land down the runway. Now, I know where I'm going on this. We're going to go to Krasnodar Central, which is this button here. I've got to be careful. That's 1, 2, 3. So the runway at Krasnodar Central is 27 and 9. And this will catch you out. If you go right shift and K, and we cycle through the page until we see Krasnodar Center on the runway, you'll see what I mean. Right, okay. So that's Krimsk, Novorossiysk, Krasnodar Central. If you look at the runway, which is called 27, the actual angle is 261. From that way in, it's 81, but from this way, it's 261. If you try and land on 27 and you set your instruments up for 27, you are not going to be landing down the runway. So what this means is if we go here, right, and we set our course to 261, should have gone the other way, this is going to give us all the information we need to be able to land, and it's incredibly windy. Okay, so this here gives us a lot of information. Now, what fuel am I? 1900. So this arrow here, this tells me where the airbase is. This arrow here tells me where the runway is, 261. This line here tells me that I am this far out from there to there, right? And I'm 37, 38 miles away. So just by looking at this gauge, okay, let's put this back onto nav. By just looking at that page there, I can land and fly and get to this base without really looking outside. Okay, so what I mean is if I turn now and I'm going to head towards that line that tells me I'm out, and that's called the course deviation line. So I'm going to turn around and head towards it. If I head straight to the middle of it, it's going to approach really fast. If I head towards the front of it or towards the back of it, it's going to approach slower. Now what I want to do is get the big fat arrow, right, the thin arrow, and that line all lined up. And if I can get that lined up on my instruments, by the time I look up, the runway is going to be, right, dead in front of me. So what height am I at? I'm 40 miles away. Can you see me? I'm heading towards the line. As I head towards the line, you'll see the big fat arrow end and the thin arrow end are going to start coming together. Okay? And because I'm heading straight towards the middle of the line, they're going to come together faster. So I know I'm already too high and I'm only 38 miles away. So let's start coming down as well at the same time. So I'm going to put myself on a path, and I'm going to come down about there, And at the same time, I'm going to slow down and keep my eye on this here. Oh, what happened there? That didn't like that. Oh, I see. Little bit too slow. Right, let's put this back onto TAD. Let's put my speed back where it should be. And let's line back up with the middle of this. Right. Okay, so this is completely hands off. Keeping an eye on my speed, see the way it's building up, so I'm just pulling out my speed brakes, look. Keeping an eye on my speed, I'm not going to have it too fast. And we're, what, 32 miles away. I've pulled back on my engines now. So you can see these lines, these are getting closer. This line's coming into the middle. Excuse me. So you'll see what the wind is like when I start coming down. Also, I know that QFE is 2.9 for here, 8.2, so I'm going to adjust that. I will be told if I radioed in, but I haven't radioed in. So if I was using my instruments, that would be accurate. It's also quiet and peaceful. So you can see this is getting closer. These two are getting closer to my altitude at the moment, 9,000 feet, that's fine. 20 odd miles away, so I'm going to start to level out a little bit now. Can you see how these two are getting closer? So the airport and my runway are starting to line up, and this course deviation will start slotting in and filling that gap. And what this means is whatever map you're on, you can literally land in emergency using the divert function and land at somewhere you've never been to and never seen and end up with your face pointing down the runway every single time. So you'll see every area of operation is programmed in by default. But I think I might try the Huey. I want to see if the wind's too much for or it's okay, because then I can use this map for doing Huey training as well. If anyone's got any questions, please ask. You landed yet, Wiz?
Not yet, no. Coming into land now.
Look at the angle. That's because it's really windy. Look. There's the runway. Right, okay, so you can see this is coming now. So I'm taking it off autopilot and I'm making a nice turn. Might have to turn a little bit tighter. And then roll out. There's the runway. 22 mile out. Start descending a bit more. You'll see the hood gets pushed over soon. 9,000 feet. 20 miles out, that's fine. I'll just put that on there. So about 10 miles out, I want to be about 1,500 feet, something like that. I'll probably be a little bit high. But you see how this has guided me into this runway, look. And if you set this to 27 here, then you're going to be coming in at the wrong line. So 18 miles out, 8,000 feet. Just backing off on the speed a little bit. Okay, did it come down okay? No broken legs or anything?
No broken leg today.
Okay, 14 miles. Oh. A little bit over, but not much. $11, little bit high. Ideally you want to be about 1,500 feet. It's about 10 mile out, going about 250. We're a bit out, but we can fix that. Okay, we're off autopilot. Just change our rate of descent down somewhat. Got my speed brakes out. Backed off with the engine as well. There's the runway. You see, as we get lower down, the hood's going to push over to the side. 8 miles out. A little bit high. That's the caution's going. Don't know where it's going at the moment. Oh yeah, I know where it's going because possibly because of my speed. Okay, going to land a little bit long if we're not careful.
Master caution.
I know it's a bit windy. There's no way, unlike the F-18, where you can lock the hood. You can't do that in this. Okay, put the brakes on full. Make sure you slow down a lot before you even attempt to put the nose wheel steering on, otherwise you'll be all over the place. Oops. Wonder what the master caution is for. Don't know why it's going on.
Fuel?
I thought that, but it doesn't look like it. According to this, I got plenty of fuel. I could understand it if I was rolling down on, you know, about £100 just before I landed. Just sort of blot a bit, but I'll have a look in a minute. There'll be an alarm. Yeah, it could be a early fuel warning. Let me check. Yeah, it's just saying the fuel's low, but it's got £1,100, so I could be out for ages. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
As I said, I can get away with starting out on that run. It's about £800. So, was that okay today? Did you learn a bit?
I learned what it's supposed to do. I didn't actually grasp it.
That's fine.
I got the theory. Just need practice, and because really it was my only second time dropping CBUs, let alone doing wind correction.
Yeah, you are doing really accelerated stuff, by the way, because I reckon you didn't want to spend 6 months doing like sort of 70 to 80 hours spread over 6 months. It's a lot of this is knowing what you're able to do, right? As I said, normally you wouldn't be doing this now, but you know it's there. So when you want to take out the A10, if you want to ask, you know, about the startup or about how to do something, that's fine. It's knowing that it's there. Do you know what I mean? And that you can do it. But this is rather accelerated. I wouldn't teach you like this if I was teaching you and expecting you to remember everything.
Yeah.
You'd be spending a lot more time with the basics and more repetition, and maybe spending each time we'd do something, we'd go over the stuff that we did before. But today as well, you're not great. You know what I mean? So I'll try and accommodate. Pardon?
Bit feverish.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But you should be able to start jumping into an A10 soon on a Saturday.
Yeah.
You've got your basics, right? And I can help you out, or Pup can help you out.
Yeah. Pup's a good lad.
Good lad. Pup's old. Right, okay. I am going to jump into a Huey because I want to see what this wind does with it and if it's too windy or not.
Okay.
I don't think it is. I think it's perfect, but we'll see. So yeah, excuse my indulgence. I just want to see if I can use this for... Oh, my computer. Why's my computer gone quiet? Oh, there it goes. So whilst this isn't exactly a lesson in Huey, it's really, really quick to start. So we're going to put this onto AC phase, this onto essential bus, main generator down, putting the battery down, switching off the low RPM warning, switching on the fuel, switching on the hydraulics, force trim and chip detector, make sure the fuel's forward. Put this on for your benefit. Move the fuel all the way up and all the way down. and then we're going to hold the button, and I know what I'm looking for on this, by the way. I'm going to hold the button now so that the engine starts, and we're looking for, let me zoom in a bit better, the gas producer. We're going to let go when this hits 40. Around about 12 to 15ish, the rotor will start turning. You won't see it because of the angle of the sun. So we'll keep holding the gas producer, and then we let go, and then we wait. So we're waiting for the RPM to get up to 40. Once the RPM gets up to 40, we're going to continue introducing fuel into the turbine. You'll see this indicator here on the top left slowly going up. The RPM's going up as well. We want to keep these two needles together as best as possible. So I think this wind is okay for this, and I just want to test because then I know which map I can use for Huey training. Once it's all the way up, we've got 2 errors. We'll put the IFF on, inverters up where we started. Pop that down, pop the starter gen to standby. We've got a master caution on. We need to reset that with this reset button, and we also need to make sure the compass is aligned with this compass, so it's very slightly out. When you adjust, use a synchronizing knob and keep an eye on this, and we want to see half a circle, half a cross. If we can see a cross or a circle, that's wrong. We're 2 notches out from north towards 33, which is about there. Now, by my reckoning, the wind is blowing from behind me, and it's blowing over that way. We'll have a look in a minute. So I want to trim this into the wind, and so it's hovering. And that's what I want to test. We need about 30% or 33% of left rudder, and if I leave this, it's going to go forward, roll over, turn right. So I'm going to pull this back a little bit over here, and that will start off into a hover. The exercise we're quickly going to do is we need to turn our nose into the wind. And as I said, as far as I'm aware, judging, there's the windsock. See the windsock? So that's where the wind is, right? You can see the direction it's blowing, and it is over there. Like I thought, right, I'm going to pop this down and quickly explain it. So this exercise, you always want to do it on a runway or siding or taxiway, because you've got horizontal and vertical lines that will help you. What we're going to do is lift the helicopter up and trim it, and then we're going to make some adjustments. Now I'm going to explain it first because you can't always see it. So when we trim it, this stick will stay where I put it. It may be forward, it may be back down here, for instance. It'll stay. When you're trimming a Huey, once you hit the trim button, you've got no input to your stick. So if I trim this here, right, about there, I am now moving my stick round and round in circles in real life, and it's not moving. I've got no input until I relax the stick to the centre, and you'll see the stick do a little wiggle. There's the wiggle. Now I've got control again. Okay, so you must remember that, especially when you're under pressure, because you'll forget. When I lift it up,
Jump out now.
yeah, no worries, matey.
And a drink. I'll probably be back later.
Okie dokie. You're welcome. Ta-da. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to trim it, and then I'm going to make adjustments until I can get this to hover with my nose pointing to the wind. All helicopters gravitate towards the wind, and it's called weather vaning. So I'm using the wind effectively to set up, and think of it like leaning up a wall. And I find it easier to set a hover in a wind than no wind at all, right? So what I want to see is if this wind is too much. When I adjust further hovering, once I've set it, if the helicopter's moving backwards, I'm going to adjust forwards, and the adjustment is forward, middle, forward, middle, forward, middle, until it slows down, and then I'm going to trim it and let go and see what happens. If it's going to the side, I'm going to be pushing to the side, middle, side, middle, side, middle. The reason I'm showing you this is because the movement is tiny. It's that small you might not see my stick moving. And if you do, it's likely to be when I do the trimmer in the middle bit. All right, so let's see if I can get this sitting comfortably in the wind. Okay, oh, that's a flag, not a windsock. So 30% left. Lift this up, and I'm getting ready to catch it as soon as it's up. Okay, and what I'm going to do is get it into a position, and I want to trim it when it's steady, as steady as I can get it, out there, and let go of my stick. See the stick wiggle. Okay, now that's actually not bad off the bat. So I can do it maybe. Can I do it better? Let's lift up just a little bit more because I don't want it to be on the floor. So it is going forward a little bit. So I'm going to make an adjustment now. Can you see the adjustment? Trimming it. It's going backwards, I can tell. I'm going to stop that by moving the stick forward, middle, trim it. I'm going to push it slightly right. So it's going right, middle, slightly forward as well, trim it. And again, seems as though once it starts moving back, it accelerates. Now, if you do drift onto the dirt, especially when you're starting, it's always a good idea to get back onto the concrete, because that way round you can see what's going on. So I'm going to just push this forward until it's on the concrete and then carry on, all right? As I said, the movement in the stick on screen is minimal. And I mean minimal. You can see I've trimmed it because of where the diamond is. And that becomes my new centre point. So we'll go over here right now. I'm letting go of the stick. Helicopter's slowing down by itself. It'll go backwards a little bit. So again, I'm just going to adjust. And then do it a bit more. Bit more. It is quite strong wind. But as I said, if I'm teaching people, if I can't do it, how am I expecting them to do it? Do you know what I mean? But you don't move too much in any one go. So once you've sort of got it, if I turn the helicopter around, it's going to start blowing around all over the place. Now all I'm doing is using my feet. Okay? I'm just using my feet to turn the helicopter around, and you can see it's moving by itself. However, this is where the wind's blowing it. So if I turn round and keep going until the direction that I've trimmed it, what I'm expecting, he says, is it to slow down, and slow down a lot. As you can see, it's not doing that at the moment. I'm not careful, I'm going to crash into something. It has slowed down. Look, it's taking its time. I'm not touching this, right? I kid you not. Can you see how it slowed down by itself? All I've got is my feet on the pedals. I haven't touched my stick at all. So once it's back with its nose in the wind, it basically goes back to how it was. Now I can make a slight adjustment there. It slowed itself down a lot. I'm just going to add just a little bit more, and that's it. So once you've got it like that now, if I want it to stop dead perfectly, just by putting my fingers around the stick, we should be able to stop the helicopter and get it in a perfect hover. Okay. So even in this wind, right, your helicopter will fly how you want it. I'm going to make it go forward now. Yeah, this is fine. It's going to take a little bit of effort. But again, I'm just pushing the stick forward, but it's already lifting. I'm not doing that. That's because it's so windy. It really did lift then. That's because my nose is in the wind. And it's still lifting, look. That's how strong the wind is. I'm not putting any more. See where my collective is on the top. And the wind's that strong. That's the other point I've got to watch. Is it's just lifting because the wind's blowing so damn hard. Alright, let's bring it back down again. If anyone fancies doing Huey, the reason why I do the Huey so much is just by doing this, it will basically give you a really good grounding for all helicopters, because you learn all the principles by using the Huey. It's just you and the systems, and I'm purposely not touching the collective at the moment. Second I go into the wind though, it climbs like crazy. So now I'll use my collective to try and get down. Lost it. So just at the end there, the nose lifted up and I lost it then. That was a bit too much. So I think the answer is it's a little bit too windy, isn't it, for doing helicopter work? I think people will struggle. What is it? 7 meters a second. Okay. I'll knock it down to about 4 or 5. I think that would be better. Right. Anyhow, on that note, I think that's it for today. It was supposed to be about A10, but it is a little bit too windy for that, to be fair. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully some of that was useful. If anyone does fly the A10 and didn't know about that, that's fine. You've learned something. If you don't fly the A10, you can see how damn good it is as a module. So I'll just go and find somebody else. 18 views in total on Twitch for DCS. That's terrible, isn't it? Let me try and find somebody who's in English. It is DCS they're doing. I'm just making sure. There's a few people streaming, but not many, obviously, during the day. But thanks very much for watching. I'll pass you over to this guy. Can't tell what he's doing at the moment. Those on YouTube, thank you for watching, and